Hello, my friends. How are you? Comment allez-vous? Como estás ustedes? Как дела? Як се маєш? Wie geht's? Gegale? Ni hao ma? Annyeonghaseyo? Or genki desu ka, as the Japanese say? Or what's up? And of course, how you'll do? My honorable fellow American compatriots and undecided voters of all religions and convictions, as well as all those without any religious beliefs, but as long as you care about the world in which we live, then we all here in the same boat with you. Tomorrow, November 8th, will be the final date and the cutoff date of election, the date when the polls will be finally closed, when our destinies and lives will be determined. Saying our destinies and lives, I do not exaggerate even a bit. That's exactly what will happen. I am one of you, yes, chronically undecided voter in the USA, which finally has come to a decision to vote, believe me or not. Why I was undecided? Well, everyone can judge by yourself. Because I'm not naive, I know behind both Democrats and Republican parties candidates, there's a bunch of clever boys, monstrously clever boys, with this very, very mean agenda towards the world, and particularly to destroy this country. And they are puppeteers who pull the strings behind Hillary, and not only Hillary, but many previous candidates as well. Those puppeteers who can pick the candidates, the one which they want, the one which we never voted for, or they simply can rig the system, voting machines, and can fix as many votes for their candidate as they want. So I always thought, what was the point to vote? This just doesn't make sense. But this time, it's a totally different story. On one side, we have Mrs. Hillary Clinton, a puppet of the old corrupted system, and on the other side, it's Mr. Donald Trump, a fresh outsider. The outsider whose intent is to dismantle this rotten system. So we have an unprecedented in history election, the election of our lifetime. Yes. So I will not go into the depth as to why Hillary or Mr. Trump should be the one to vote for. I'm sure that those of you who follows that campaign know all about it. And those of you who do not know or who do not care to know, I will not waste time bothering you by informing you on the particular details. I only shall emphasize a few major points. Point number one is psychological. I must inform you that all career politicians, well, if not all, then the great majority of them, probably 90% plus, are pure narcissists and professional liars. Narcissists are the most calamitous group of psychiatric patients because they do not think they are sick, and they want to convince you that they are the only reason they live in the world is to control you and the entire world. A good quarter of them are narcissists with homicidal propensity, which they live up, usually not in person, but by proxy, by killing people en masse, by proxy, when they create the wars. So these people should be basically confined in the psychiatric units This is the only way to preclude them from doing harm to the society. But unfortunately, the psychiatry, the science, does not serve us well enough to do that, unfortunately. Hillary Clinton is one of those patients, yeah, who now is working for us, for us as a public servant, and she wants to be a president. Clinton, she's a pathological liar. Every time she opens her mouth, Hillary lies through her teeth. She's the most exacerbated Machiavellian in the American government for many years before and probably for many years to come. I think if she would compete against Machiavelli himself, I think she would beat him. No problem. I don't believe she would have any problem with that. She says that she's better with women than Trump. Okay? Well, but I think that mischievous behavior of Mr. Trump has no comparison with homicidal ideation of Hillary, the narcissist. That's what she is, a homicidal narcissist. I assume that many women who wants to make history by electing a first woman president will be voted for Hillary. And it is a great idea, of course, but I must assure you that the narcissism has no distinction in gender at all. In fact, in her social, or I should say antisocial ways, Hillary is a female version of Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy. But far more powerful than Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was also a very charming and convincing liar. If he would have probably aspiration to become a politician, he would be a great politician, no doubt. But he didn't have those aspirations. So he was only, just a dude, who went on the street, rampaging, killing a few, how many he killed? A couple dozen individually, women, But Hillary, empowered by our votes, can create wars and kill millions. So poor Ted Bundy cannot compete with her. She's hell-bent to make a war against Russia. Probably everyone heard about this. So she definitely has a chance to beat the homicidal record set by Hitler himself. Those of you who follow the debates would not miss to notice in their last debate with Mr. Trump, she repeated her old paranoid fixation with the war. She promised to enforce a so-called no-fly zone over Syria. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the devious terminology of the diabolic politicians, I must explain that a no-fly zone is a euphemism for a war. It means she will start the war against Syria, and since Russia has already been engaged on the side of Syria, it also means a war of America against Russia. In other words, it's nothing less than World War III. She will be able to make many American, Israeli, Russian mothers crying over their sons and daughters. So if you want a war, or you have already a bomb shelter built somewhere in the Antarctic, that of course you can certainly vote for Hillary. But considering the lightning speed of the modern war, I would say nuclear war, I might warn you that you might have not enough time to reach your bomb shelter in the Antarctic. You are being warned, yes. Now, Mr. Trump, you don't have to love this guy. Some people say, I don't like him, he's too crude, too rude. I'm telling you, you don't have to love this guy. He's not a politician, so he will never even try to please you like politicians do. Also, since he's not a politician, he's not a pathological liar. He's here to save America from a total disintegration by the homegrown deadbeat politicians acting along with their foreign donor cronies. So we must appreciate his courage and ability to take on the system. That's the very same system which killed John Kennedy. Mr. Trump, I think he's able to send into retirement the corrupt system without any bloodshed. It's going to be a bloodless revolution, no less than that. He might be coarse and rebellious and totally politically incorrect, but don't be embarrassed with this. It is the type of a guy who we need to break this rough, bad system. And keep in mind that if he managed to make $1 out of a penny for himself, he can do it for the country. Oh yes, he can. By the way, being rebellious and this rough and courageous too, he reminds me a lot of Teddy Roosevelt. Remember the Bull Moose Party? I hope Mr. Trump can do something similar and to bring new life into the Republican Party. It's a long time overdue, believe me. So remember, our founding fathers are turning in their graves watching us, so gullible cowards who enjoys being lied to. It's time to stop it. So if you love and care for your children and the Mother Earth, Trump is the only choice, given by God's choice. We will have no other choice, and there will be no other chance if we miss this opportunity with Mr. Trump to drain the swamp. Some of you are concerned with the strict approach of Mr. Trump for immigration. Well, I'm a former immigrant myself, and I know many immigrants who are not afraid of this. And of those who are afraid, I must tell you that if you vote for Hillary, she will make this country so poor that you, American people, you will need to immigrate to Mexico to find a work for food. It might happen, oh yes. But those Mexicans, they are not so naive. They are not so gullible. They will beat you with a baseball bat and send you back. Oh yeah, it might happen. So all in all, whatever is your religion, whether you are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, or Hindu, or Buddhist, or whatever your religion is, or if even you have no religion, let's wake up tomorrow and pray. But make sure we pray very earnestly and hard, real hard. Then we go and cast our votes for Mr. Trump, so the Mother Earth will accept us as decent citizens of America, and the entire world will say thank you. So now it's time to say goodbye. So I would say sayonara, arrivederci, adios, hasta luego, poca, до свидания, bye bye, au revoir, and bon chance to all of you.